All right, our favorite quotes.
Favorite quotes? I just picked quotes.
Or quotes.
Okay.
Quotes with some meaning, sales.
Yeah. Today's topic was really kind of dissecting a quote and, how does it apply?
Yep.
I guess is the simplest way to say it. So.
All right, I'm going to read the beginning of my first quote, and you're going to finish it.
Uh-oh.
He doesn't know this, so this is going to be very interesting.
It's a lot of pressure.
Change creates
results, growth.
Almost there.
What else does it create? Separation from everybody else. Well, I'm just breaking this whole thing up and analyzing it.
Opportunity.
Opportunity. Okay.
Which you basically peppered all around. Here's opportunity. You were all right there. So good job.
So, and I think I answered the question on kind of what that quote means.
Yes, absolutely. Especially as we come to the end of 2022 here, getting ready for 2023.
Right.
We've already seen change.
Absolutely.
And we've seen people take advantage of that opportunity. And I think as the new year comes, because the change kind of happened mid-year, there was a lot of people trying to figure things out. Because, a lot of people had plans and they worked them out through the change. But I think now we're seeing kind of people are reaching out because it's only a couple weeks away to the new year and saying, okay, let's see what's on that side. So it's going to be interesting. I think we're going to see even more change.
Absolutely.
Come the first quarter and the second quarter of next year and bring even more opportunity.
So when you say the quote, though, and I mean, I guess I look at the quote in a couple of different ways. Now that you're kind of explaining, I feel like we're talking about change brings opportunity, that the world created change for us right now, and it created opportunity. But I also look at that quote as what changes can I make to create opportunities for myself.
Gotcha. No, that wasn't where I was going. We can talk about that.
Completely different.
I was more change creates opportunity. 2007 came.
Oh, yeah.
And that blew up everybody's business plan. I was like, oh my goodness, what do we do here?
I had an REO account.
Okay, that was one opportunity.
Right.
What was another opportunity during that time?
Short sales.
Short sales.
Absolutely.
I saw two kinds of agents. No, I'll never do a short sale. Forget it. I'd rather leave them in business than do them. And I saw agents that embraced them and had the years of their lives managing those. Yep. Was it easy?
No.
My goodness.
Well, once you got the system in place.
Thank God our cell phones were unlimited minutes by then.
Right.
Can you imagine how much your cell phone would have been if you were doing short sales on it back when they used to bill us for our minutes?
Not just that, I'm on the fax machine every other day.
Oh, yeah, that's true. The fax machine came back into vogue in 2008 for a short time there.
Don't email me anything. It all had to be fax.
And can you write this 42-digit code at the top on every page?
Exactly. Exactly. So I love the quote, and it's funny. We took it from two different perspectives, but good quote.
All right.
What's next?
Well, now we're going to you.
We're going
Let's
to me.
kick this ball back and forth.
Okay. I'm going to go with this one. Ideals will never work if we're not willing to do the work.
Oh my gosh. Can I say something real quick?
Sure.
Oh no, I don't have it. It was in the meeting we were in today.
That's where I got it from.
Is that the exact same one?
Yes.
It sounded very similar to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm no genius.
It's like the bookshelf that so many salespeople have of not only sales books, but sales meetings, booklets or pamphlets that we so feverishly wrote in, and then we come and put them on the bookshelf.
Exactly.
And we never look at them again.
Well, and we look at, it's the end of the year, a lot of goal setting going on.
Yep.
But let's be realistic. How often did you look at 2022 goals?
Like over the year, not as much as I should, but more than I have in a long time.
Okay. So
It was awesome, by the way.
Nice.
I was like, I should be doing this a lot more.
So what's interesting is I pulled up my 2022 goals, and it took me a little while to find them.
Not me. I got those organized.
And I said, but see, and I do two different things. So I actually write out my 2022 goals, but my big focus is always on my vision board. And I like to take my goals and I map them out on my vision board, which my vision board is always present every single day in front of me. So when I went back to find my goals, I was like, this was on my vision board. So a lot of it happened, and the reminder was there. But my point that I was going to make is a lot of people this time of year are writing their goals that'll probably be the only time that they look at them.
Yeah.
Until the end of 2023.
That's a great reminder, especially now that you say that, and I think back to when I pulled mine out to look at them and the power that it had.
Right.
Because I think, well, for me, I hope that it's similar to other people, is wow. Like, I really had some thought put into these goals, and looks like I made some headway on some, but boy, I gotta look at these other ones that I set, but I kind of put on the back burner or just forgot about.
Right. But it was funny when I heard this one this morning. It just resonated with me because so often we have conversations with people about wanting to change their business or do things, and it's an unfortunate thing, but sometimes we're just not ready. We're not at that place right then and there. We want this, or at least we say we want this, but the actions just don't show it. You can put the other one in line with this one. Jim Rome's "It'll Come Back to Me." Eventually, it'll come back to me. You guys know which one I'm talking about.
Go ahead and say your quote one more time as a reminder.
Ideas will never work if you're not willing to do the work.
That's right. Ideas will never work unless you're willing to do the work.
It did come back to me, so I kind of put this one together with Jim Rome's, is that this business is simple. It's just not easy.
That's what I always say.
Yes.
This business is not complicated, is what I say.
Right.
But it's incredibly difficult.
Correct. So I look at it, it's simple. We know what we need to do. Wake up in the morning, hey, prospect. How you prospect, that's pretty simple too. Is it easy? Nope. Because if it was, everybody'd be doing it.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm going to come out the door with my all-time favorite.
Go for it.
And what is really weird about this, and I may not have this right, but I wrote it down, I must have gotten it somewhere. I always thought this was a Tom Ferry quote, and it may very well be, but for some reason under mine it says Ralph Waldo Emerson. And here's what it says. Do the thing, have the power. Do not the thing, have not the power. And I guess this resonated with me because it was prospecting. Oh man, it was just, it bears down on you if you're not able to do what you want to do.
Right.
If you say, hey, I'm going to do this, and you're like, oh, I can't do it, and you make excuses, and you go do other things, or even, door knocking. And I remember I would drive around in my car bemoaning the thought of having to go knock on that first door, and I finally have to say, you better stop this car. Like in my head, I finally do it. I'd go knock on a door. I get to the second door. The third door, I was in my stride, no problem. I'd get through my 50 doors. At the end, I would be so pumped up. I would have the power, man. I'd be like, yes, I'm going to be doing this every day. Then the next day, I'd be driving around. But when you do it, it truly brings power and moves your business forward. You got to take that action.
I was chuckling when you first said that quote because it kind of, for me, this might sound weird how it resonated with me, but it was like a Plato or Socrates quote.
Well, I also like that. I like how they phrase it.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
It felt like a little philosophy behind it.
Yes.
And then it took me all the way to Frank Sinatra, and I started doing in my head. So that was where the chuckle came from. But it's interesting because actually, the other quote that I wrote down here is actually very similar to that, in that growth comes from what we do outside of the comfort zone, which is almost exactly the same as what you're talking about. Is most of our lives we function within what we're comfortable doing.
Absolutely.
And the growth and the change and the opportunities, everything we've been talking about, actually comes when we get outside of that comfort zone. Anything that we're doing outside of that comfort zone is creating growth for us towards a better place or a better situation. And I think so often people forget that, we go from comfort zone to, hey, I've got this grand idea which makes us scared, and then we go, oh, okay, let me try it out and let me see if I can learn about it so it's less scary, until we actually take that step and move forward and do something. But in reality, when you just break it down and just simply understand that it doesn't matter if it's this small or this big, if you stepped out of that comfort zone. If your goal was to run 1 mile today and you ran 1 mile in one step, you had more growth than when you stopped at the mile. And I think we need to understand that when you take it to one of my other favorite people, the compound effect, and Darren Hardy,
yep.
yeah, that all of those little things add up over time. And when we take a look back, it's like, whoa, we did actually make change.
Yeah.
You know, I can't run that marathon or run that Ironman or create this amount of business without doing all the little things on a regular basis.
It's your Ironman plan analogy for business.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think I found the quote that you were looking for, so I'll say it, because this is from Jim Rohn, and we don't need to necessarily go over it, but success is neither magical or mysterious. Success is the natural consequence of consistently applying the basic fundamentals. So it's the same thing.
Exactly.
Everyone's like, how'd you do it? Wow, that's so incredible. You have the silver bullet or the beanstalk beans. No, I don't. I got a great work ethic.
Consistency. And what's interesting is all of these things are tying in together and they're pretty much saying the exact same thing. That's my quote. All the quotes are the same. How's that?
They all lead back to one place.
They all lead back. There we go. That's better.
Getting off your ass and getting to work.
All quotes lead back to the same road. And I don't know. Let's take a step back, Travis, and what do quotes really do for you? Because I look at them often, and sometimes they resonate with me, sometimes they don't. For me, a lot of times, they'll just get me thinking and give me the opportunity to get into that mode of innovation and processing and learning and things of that nature, which is step one. But
inspire, thought, action, emotion. And by emotion, the most is what a lot of these do.
Right.
Yeah, I like them to pump me up and kind of give me a little kick in the rear.
Okay, all right.
I got one more.
Go for it.
Do you have any more?
Nope.
And then I'm gonna. You said that you read quotes and things. I actually have one on here. It's kind of long.
Okay.
I said that Tom Ferry's was my favorite. It's my favorite kind of business one. The other one's more motivational. I might have to go through that one with you too. So this one says from Norman Vincent
Peale.
Why do I have an R-E at the end of it? Anyways, any fact facing us is not as important as our attitude towards it. I could end it right there. Do you want me to end it right there, or do you want me to finish it?
Keep on going.
For that determines our success or failure. The way you think about a fact may defeat you before you ever do anything about it. You are overcome by the fact because you think you are. I was listening to something, I forget what it was, I forget the exact statistic, but I think it is true. Someone said, here we are, letting our fears control us, when it turns out that if we just did what we were so fearful of, and they had an actual statistic for it, something like 87 or 92% of the time, the big hairy monster behind the action doesn't even exist.
Exactly.
It's never, your worst fear is never going to be realized.
We talked about it in a previous podcast when we were talking about 2023, and there's going to be some differences in the market, and we can very easily take that and use that as an excuse to not do anything.
Yes.
And a lot of people did that when the market changed.
Well, like that lady
COVID.
on the phone with me today. No, I'm just going to go do my scientist stuff because it's too hard now.
Right.
I'm calling the DRE. I'm going to have your license revoked. This is ridiculous.
Don't worry, dues are coming up shortly. But, you know, I look at it and the circumstances are what the circumstances are.
Yes.
How we internalize them, how we let them affect us emotionally or mentally and things of that nature, and how we set ourselves up is really how we get past that. And because crazy thing, we work at the same office. We walk through the same front door every single day. We are in the same job. We're in the same, basically we have similar roles. And the circumstances for the most part are exactly the same. We're working with the same market. Yet we can end up with two different results based a lot on what our mindset is walking through that front door. You know, I walk in the front door every single day, the sky is falling, this market's crazy, we're going to fall apart, and oh my God, poor us, poor this, and you know,
brace yourselves.
Exactly, is going to be completely different than if we walk in. Yeah, the market is falling and the market is changing, and these are opportunities for us to actually get our, what I like to call our unfair share of this market, because we're going to work our asses off and get what we deserve and more. And sorry, but that means somebody else is going to get less.
Yep.
I'm going to end up with a different result just because of the thought process that's going on. So I love it.
Yeah, that's a powerful one. Okay, let's end this here with, oh no, it's not my quote.
That's okay.
The one I like is Theodore Roosevelt's, about the person who was beaten down and laying in the dust, but they are the triumphant, for they are the ones who were willing to go fight the fight and were not the cowards who ran and hid. That was the gist of it. But this is a good one. This is your Nike one, your Nike commercial.
Just do it.
All your life, you're told things you cannot do. All your life, they will say you're not good enough or strong enough or talented enough. They will say you're the wrong height or the wrong weight or the wrong type to play this or be this or achieve this. They will tell you no, 1,000 times no, until until all the no's become meaningless. All your life, they will tell you no, quite firmly and very quickly, and you would tell them yes. I like that one as well.
Love it. Just got back from Tony Robbins, and I am forgetting people's names here, but had two speakers that came on the last day. One of them, a self-made billionaire, basically went from having $100 left in their bank account and going to that bank after bank after bank to get a loan for one last opportunity, and turned it into a $1 billion business. She's in the makeup industry, and I apologize, I forgot her name. And that was followed by a gentleman who was born with no legs. He had one arm, no legs, and talked his parents into joining the wrestling team. And he had part of another arm, and he actually had to remove that and have it removed surgically in order to be able to wrestle. And his mentality was just, it blew my mind, because he was there and he talks about the process, but wrestled long enough that he actually started winning some matches. So, I look at that whole thing and, right, just got to keep looking for the yes. So, no is today. Yeah, no is today. Yes is somewhere in the future. It's just a matter of whether or not you go out to go get it. I might have just made a quote.
Write that down. All right.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Yes.
If you've got a favorite quote, drop it in the chat. Would love to hear what it is. And subscribe, like, appreciate it, and have a fabulous day.